Hey guys, thanks for clicking on my channel. I just wanted to do this really cool purple glam eye makeup, and I actually have been trying a lot of new products, so I'm going to be showing those along the way. One is this palette by Motives. I just have a few pretty, colors in there that I want to play with and see how they wear and how they test out. So let me show you how I do the makeup. For my eyeshadow primer, I'm actually using a concealer. This one is by Maybelline. It's actually a concealer I'll be using on my under eyes, but I just didn't have a primer in front of me. But normally I would use a regular one. So for the eyeshadows, at least to start, I'm using the Meet Matte palette from the Balm, and I'm starting with the brown color it's called Matte Gallagher. It's a very neutral based brown. It's not too deep, it's not too light, so it does show up on my skin. It's gonna make all the other colors I put on top transition really well. Now for the kind of burst of color, I'm using Matte Batali. It's a really great cool tone purple, so it's very deep. The thing about any kind of matte purples, especially a dark purple, is that you have to kind of pack on the color and then blend it and then pack on and then blend it. So be patient when you're layering it on top and then blending it away. It happens with matte colors like this. Just to make sure everything's blending nice and neat, I'm taking Matte Gallagher again with that fluffy brush and then just blending it on the crease. It's okay if they blend together because, again, I'm going to add some more of that Matte Batali purple on top of it. As you can see me doing on here, what I'm doing with the brush is I'm placing the color on top of my lid and then I'm blending it out. And I'm placing it by patting it and then blending up towards the crease. Now I'm taking the Motives Cosmetics I Do palette. It's a really pretty eyeshadow palette that's a really nice color scheme inside of it. And I'm taking the color Dance. It's a really nice pewter, kind of mid-tone purple, kind of shimmery color. And I'm placing that all over the lid without going over in the crease area. So if you find that the colors like this just don't add enough shine or shimmer for your taste, which this by itself is actually really beautiful, just add some Fix Plus or some water. I'm using the L'Oreal spray and I'm adding that on top of my brush after I dip into the powder, and then I'm putting it back on my lids. Using this highlighting color called Vows, I actually really liked it, so I put it in my inner corner of my eyes. And then I'm also taking the color Kiss, which is that really nice matte black color in the palette, and adding that all over on my lash line. I'm almost at creating like a small wing with the eyeshadow, but you'll see here that some of it kind of gets brushed away just with the lashes and stuff like that. But it does add a really nice effect to your eyes. It makes your lashes actually look thicker. So just make sure that you're lining it all across the inner parts of your lids and that it's super black against the shimmery color on top. For my skin, I actually already put lotion on, so I'm just going to go straight into the Revlon ColorStay in 375, which is a new color, mixing that with the L'Oreal Pro Glow in 209. I just like both of the foundations have a really unique finish, and I kind of like them mixed together. I particularly like them mixed in and buffed into the skin with this particular brush. It's from e.l.f. I bought mine at Target. It's a really great one. I actually prefer this brush for the Pro Glow foundation more than the Beauty Blender. It just doesn't soak up as much, and it buffs into the skin so well. I recommend it to everybody. So you might be wondering, Susie, that's not your color, but it totally is my colors. The light totally messes it up. But if you were kind of concerned, don't worry. I'm using the Maybelline concealer in the color medium 40. So if you have a nice tan, sometimes you do need to just match your face to your neck and shoulders, and it could look a little scary, but adding a lighter concealer totally makes it like even out better, and it does kind of bring more of a normal looking color back to your face, so I don't look like an orange Oompa Loompa. So because some of this color actually transferred too low on my cheeks, I just took my brush that I used before and I'm buffing out the edges just so that the concealer doesn't get too far into the mix of my foundation. I went too far with my concealer, so I'm just adding on that color Vows again on my inner corner to brighten up the inner part of my eyes. And now I'm taking the same eyeshadow that I used before and I'm bringing that on my lower lashes. I took a angle brush, but then I also smudged it out with a very kind of smooth brush just to buff it out and kind of bring it down lower onto my drop shadow. I really like a dark smoky eye on the lower lash line. It's one of my favorite things about eye makeup, really. Now I'm just adding a little bit more of that color Vows, that like highlighter color, onto my inner corner on the bottom lash line, just to kind of bring some brightness back. So I'm using the Benefit bronzer to kind of add some dimension into my face. I'm also actually kind of cutting my cheek a little bit. So I'm just pinching my brush. This is the one from e.l.f. It's one of my favorites. And then I'm just using the fat kind of side just to buff it away. So again, I'm just pinching it, creating the line there, buffing it out, and then I'm also blending it away with some more of the product from Benefit. I wanted to make sure that my nose was defined too, because it's a very dramatic look all over the face, so I don't want to leave that behind. If I don't put any on my nose, it kind of gets lost. So I'm just taking a very small brush with the same powder, and I'm bringing that underneath my nose kind of nostril areas. And I'm also going to go and do a swipe across like the center part of my nose. This is going to create like a button nose, and I'm going to accentuate that just a little bit more with some of the concealer that's left over on my beauty blender, and putting that on the parts that should be kind of raised. This is just like something fun that I like to do when I'm wearing a lot of makeup. And then I'm taking the same Vows color and adding that onto the high points of my cheeks. This is a really nice bright highlighter. It's not gold, it's not champagne, it's kind of, you know, icy almost. But I think it looks really beautiful with a color like, you know, a look like this, especially using cool tone purples. I just thought that it really brought a lot of brightness and luminosity to my face. It's a little bit different than a gold highlighter. Don't forget to fill in your brows. I'm using the NYX pencil, brow pencil in the color Ash Brown. It's a really great pencil to make your eyebrows look natural. I will recommend always to brush through the eyebrows, because then it kind of breaks apart the base and makes it look more like hair and like feathered hair. I want to get an in-depth tutorial going on someday soon, but that was just something I really wanted to emphasize, is just to make sure you brush through, because that's what creates those little bits and spaces in your hair to make it look like it's hair and not just a big Sharpie. Don't forget to curl your lashes and to add some mascara on your top and bottom lashes. I am using falsies, but the one mascara that I'm using for now is the Maybelline Stiletto. It's just a really great like layering mascara, and it does make your lashes look great too, but especially on the bottoms they look really great with this particular mascara. Then I'm using the Revlon black glue with a pair of lashes from eyeliner. These are a little bit thicker. They have a very thick band, but I find that the Revlon glue is ideal for this kind of lash, because it really does stick and cling to the lashes without lifting, and it's less frustrating. So I'm just putting those very, very close to my lash line. I'm not using any liner, because that black kind of eyeshadow liner works perfectly with it. And if you have to, just make sure you brush your bottom lashes through them. Now I'm taking whatever's left of this Bare Minerals blush. I swear this is a never-ending blush. It's called Laughter, and I'm adding that blush onto my cheeks. This color is a really great color for my skin tone. It definitely shows up a little bit better than the one that was in the palette, so I really like it. Now I'm using the Vice palette from Urban Decay that was sent to me. I believe it was from either Ulta or Sephora. I don't really know. Either way, I really like it. The color is called Amulet. It's a really beautiful, like, neutral mid-tone pink. It has a little bit of shimmer in it, so you don't necessarily need a gloss on top. Very creamy. It was super comfortable on the lips. I really did like this formula. So I thought this would just be kind of nice instead of using a typical nude lipstick. And one last step to do is to spray your face with some spray, just to make sure that your face doesn't look powdery or dry. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter and on Instagram to get all the latest posts, and also especially on Twitter because I post polls on there every so often. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!